just happened. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. My neighbors compete to see who can put up more blinding lights. The kids all wish away the month 'cause they want presents in sight. This year had me so mad. I've been bad, got coal that is sitting under my tree. I think that my Christmas has died. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. When I was just a boy, Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am. But right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas. This is not a Christmas song.
Yes, it's the Survivor Series WarGames post show. Let's talk about the games.
Start.
What? What?
Oh,
Oh my god.
Achi.
My cheese. Johnny North. CM Punk hoodie, proud, rocking it, living the life, having a good time.
I wish the show was better, but at least Punk had a good moment at the end. That was nice for him.
What, when he did this for like a while?
He was tired. He wanted to
All
go
of
to
this?
sleep.
That's what I felt like too watching this show.
Yeah.
Fully asleep. I was out.
I won't disagree.
Boring. WarGames, more like it.
Snore games.
Snore games, JR.
For most of the show, I'll agree with you, but I thought the main event was all right.
You did?
Oh, the main event. Oof.
It was pretty long and like, just kind of do a move. Like, there was no, I don't know. It was pretty basic. Just kind of, let's beat everybody down and bloodline beatdowns and top rope splashes and like
Little dramatic moments.
Roman and Punk not getting along. I was not amused by that main event. I was not. I mean, I thought the women's match was better.
Okay. Wow. That's surprising, but okay.
I mean, I didn't think either match was particularly great, John. I really didn't.
I would definitely say the women's WarGames match was more entertaining.
There you go.
All right. I found, again, my opinion here. I just found the women's WarGames was very embarrassing to watch. I think I texted that when I was watching. Like, this is an embarrassment to watch this. At least with the men's, maybe it wasn't as exciting, but there was good pacing. And I was interested in the story. And for the most part, it wasn't a sloppy fest like the whole women's match was.
Yeah, but it made it kind of more exciting. The men's match was so boring. You talk about the pacing and like, oh my God, it just kind of went on and on.
And they're like, no,
on.
I'm going to go out.
Yeah. It's like,
and Roman speared CM Punk. Oh no. Even though it was a pretty badly telegraphed spot.
Yeah, that spot was bad.
Or like Solo's way out of the way. And then Roman's like.
And then but Punk is the bigger man. He saves Roman from the giant tsunami from Bronson Reed. Bronson's on the top of the cage and
with one last
and Roman
lunge.
is like half on the table, like his arm and leg were off the table. You could tell he wasn't taking that tsunami. And then there's Punk who pulls him off the table and saves him, and you're like, "Oh, Punk's the bigger man. What a nice guy." After he got speared by Roman, they're acting as a team. Paul Heyman yelled at them to like behave and act as a team because it's WarGames. Heyman showed up during the match to like tell them to get together, and they listened. Ugh. Boring.
Well, I enjoyed the Bloodline story. I actually enjoyed it. I thought that table spot with Bronson Reed, that was the closest they could have possibly pulled that off. Like, it felt like Roman was going to get hit there. Punk just in the nick of time got him off there.
What? You really thought Roman was going to take that with like half of his body off the table? If he would have taken that, he would have broken his spine. Like, you can't take that safely with that much of your body off the table.
I'm just saying Punk just got him just in time. Like, if you saw that, like, it looked like he got a little bit of Roman anyways, actually.
I was not impressed, John. I don't know.
I enjoyed the main event. The women's match, I thought, was one of the worst WarGames matches I've ever seen. I don't think they should do 2 WarGames matches. I've said this over and over again. And this whole, like, trying to get the weapons, like, that was the biggest problem I had with the women's one. Everyone had to get the garbage. Everyone had to do it. Like, the worst backyard wrestling match WWE has ever done, I think, ever, was tonight. Because everyone had to go underneath the ring and bring a bunch of crap in the ring. At least with the men, it made sense when they did it. And very little of them did it, actually. When Punk did it, it made sense because there was like 4 of them against them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying the women's match was perfect. It had a lot of problems. It had a lot of problems. It wasn't great, but I felt like it had more moments where you were like, ooh, that was crazy. Where in this one, it was just like, okay. Can we get to the point where they're all in the ring? Okay, they're all in the ring. Oh, okay, they surrounded Solo. And that whole thing, surrounding Solo, holy shit. Come on. Oh, I'm going to pick you up. Like, they're all down. Everybody's, like, down and dead in the ring. And all it takes to revive them is for another member of their team to just, like, pick them up and be like, come on, let's go. And then they're like, okay, here I go. Like, what? It was so dumb. Then they all surround Solo, and he's like, and they take their sweet time.
And Roman's kind of like, you can join me.
Yeah, and like they're just like waiting and waiting and waiting to do something to Solo, and all Solo's guys just have to lie there acting dead. And then eventually they attack Solo. Usos hit super kicks, and then Solo falls in the corner for Sami Zayn to do his haluva kick, and then Solo stumbles into CM Punk to go to sleep, and then he stumbles off the ropes to get speared by Roman. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. What a stupid finish. What a dumb, fake, cinematic, WWE garbage finish to a match. And after that, there was nothing. There was no Rock, nothing cool. That was just it. Thanks. Go home. Goodbye.
That kind of finish is the finish they usually would have at house shows. You know, you'd have a run-in, and then all the baby faces from earlier in the night would come in, some heels, and then like
you surround the heel, do your finish. Do your finish and send the crowd
and
home
then John
happy.
Cena hits him with the A at the end, and then, you know. But there's a few, someone takes a stink face. Rikishi was
Horrible.
always big for those, I
Horrible.
think we saw like Hulk Hogan give someone a stink face.
I hate that stuff. I hate it.
I like it at a house show. At a house show, it's fun.
Yeah, but this was the main event of a pay-per-view that's supposed to mean something. Overly choreographed, fake bullshit. Trash. What a garbage finish. You're going to defend the finish, John? You like it?
It made sense. I had no problem with it. I mean, they milked it too much. There was a lot of milk. I won't deny it. But it's the best thing they have in WWE is this Bloodline story. I understand why they did it.
There's a lot of milk, and I'm lactose intolerant, John.
Yeah, it's a lot of farts.
The OGs had to win this one. They lost in Saudi Arabia, so they had to come back and win this one. So it made a lot of sense. Plus, Punk is there too as well. Like, it's kind of like his big 1-year return. It made sense for them to win. I know it was maybe too much face heavy with the faces winning both war games, but it just made sense with the story the way they're going right now.
Harold Schneider, member of the team, dropped him in a super chat. He says, 7 out of 10, better than I thought, but I wasn't really watching, so I was not annoyed. I was doing other things while it went on. Yeah, maybe if you weren't watching, you give it a good review because you didn't watch it. I watched it, and I did not like it. I'm going to go with...
Because we gave Full Gear 6.
Yeah, and
we were pretty mad about Full Gear.
Full Gear sucked. This was worse than Full Gear. Somehow, this was worse than Full Gear.
You gave Full Gear 5, by the way.
Did I give Full Gear 5?
That was 6, but maybe 5.
5 sounds about right. This, I think, was a 4.
Wow.
I was going to give this thing a 4 to begin with, but I think this was a 4 on 10 for me. I did not like this show. I did not like anything on it. Nothing of significance happened. Nothing. It was another big nothing. This was a house show. This was a glorified house show. They went into a market like Vancouver. This was just like, what is it? What is the show that they did in like Saudi Arabia?
Or the Bash in Berlin.
Bash in Berlin.
Or Paris.
It was like one of those. It was one of those where they give you stars. They give you gimmick matches. They give you the semblance of an event that means something. They'll even give you a name like Survivor Series, you know? Like they kind of do this smoke and mirrors to people where they go, we're going to give you all the big stars. We're going to give you gimmick matches. We're going to give you a big pay-per-view. But you're not going to actually get anything.
No.
Nothing happened tonight. Nothing.
Well, not
Punk
true.
and Roman had some disagreements, but then they got together and posed and shook hands, and it was all fine. They're on separate shows anyways, so who cares? That's a big nothing. Roman's team won, but he's still going to be feuding with Solo and the guys because they're on SmackDown together. Like, Roman now is stuck with Jimmy on SmackDown against Solo and his crew, who are all on SmackDown. Jey Uso's on Raw, CM Punk's on Raw, Sami Zayn's on Raw. How do they deal with that? That's going to keep going on. Like, if you think that's over, come on, keep dreaming. It's not over. It's nowhere near over.
This ain't over.
And nothing really progressed there. Oh, well, Solo won last time. Roman wins this time. It's 50-50 booking. Nothing ever actually happens. Nothing happened. Tiffany Stratton teased to cash in. She didn't cash in. Nothing happened on this stupid show. It was a glorified house show. It started at 6 p.m. That should have been a good indication. When you don't start anything that means anything at 6 p.m. You don't.
That was interesting.
It was weird. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it's 10 o'clock and the show's been over for half an hour. That's good. But damn, it sucked. 4 on 10 for me. 4 on 10. Jason Pete saying maybe 2 or 3 on 10. He says, how boring was it? I started watching CBC News Newfoundland instead.
Oof.
Rough. Alex Tarras gives it a 6 on 10. I mean, there are varying scores. Ryan Katz liked it. He gave it a 7 on 10. Harold gave it a 7 on 10. Some people liked it. Some people did not. I think it really depends on how you viewed the WarGames matches. Did you like them? Did you not? I did not. I thought the women's WarGames match was the match of the night, though, which tells you something about the rest of this stinking card. It was bad on paper, and, you know, it was bad in practice as well.
The triple threat was all right.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't.
It was like a Raw match.
It wasn't as good as like Braun Breaker versus Sheamus 1-on-1 on Raw like a week or two ago. It wasn't as good as that. Yeah. It didn't steal the show by any stretch. You know, it didn't steal the show.
Just kind of looking at the card, I was like, "Oh yeah, that match happened."
It happened. Right. It was basic. Braun Breaker beat Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser in a triple threat to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Hit Sheamus with a spear.
Yeah, I guess the women's match is my match of the night. My score, I guess 4.5. I'm not a huge fan of WarGames.
I don't like WarGames. I never have.
It takes a long time. It's just cage matches. It's not that interesting, and they didn't seem to stock the ring aprons very well because they had to go all the way around the ring to find weapons sometimes.
EO having to go like across 2 rings to find her garbage can gimmick. That was ridiculous.
It's not the greatest, and I don't know. Like the way they talk about it with just such reverence, like it's the most destructive. And I don't know. I would take a different kind of match concept, or bring back the 5-on-5 elimination. I like those matches.
It would have helped. This was not good. I know people seem to like WarGames. I do not like WarGames. I don't like the concept of a match that can't end. You don't like that it isn't even really taking place until like 30 minutes in. Like you sit there 25, 30 minutes and you realize they're just kind of circling each other, not doing anything because you can't end the match. It's really a bad concept. I don't know why they keep going back to it. I think I do know. It's because Triple H is a mark for that era of NWA wrestling for some reason. They push the NWA stuff more than they push their own stuff from that era. Like, if you ask WWE fans, wrestlers, Triple H management, like, what was the better stuff in, like, 88, 89, they would be like, oh, NWA, da-da-da. They wouldn't say WWF, which is ridiculous because, you know, who was actually drawing money? I don't understand, man. And we have this stupid WarGames concept that's old and outdated and just doesn't make a lot of sense. And they use it as a selling point. And that's, again, a big problem when they use a gimmick match like this as a selling point and a bunch of people don't actually like it. Well, there's no selling point, is there?
Yeah, it's kind of a stay away.
If there's a bunch of people like us and Jason, who I'm seeing, who's like, I don't actually like this gimmick match. He's like, I don't like the double ring gimmick. I don't like it either.
It sounds good on paper, but then when you see it, it reminds me a lot of another WCW concept. Well, I know you said NWA, but like I associate WarGames with WCW.
Same thing.
With World War III.
Yeah.
When they would have like 60 guys in 3 rings, and they're all in there at the same time. And this is like a lot of jabroni. Just like, it sounds great, but then you kind of watch it and you're like, oh, this is actually
Not
quite boring.
Yes. It's,
Sure, there's Hulk Hogan, but like he's not really doing anything.
You're just standing there for
Yeah.
a while.
Just a bunch of jabronis.
It's just,
this is similar.
It's not good. And for some reason, they've abandoned a classic WWF concept to go with some NWA concept that sucks.
Yeah.
This was garbage. I hated this pay-per-view. I was expecting them to try to do something. Because on paper, you go, okay, they don't have much here. And, they just rested on the WarGames concept. They're like, well, people like WarGames, so we'll give them WarGames, 2 rings, 2 cages, Ozzy Osbourne sung by T-Pain, everybody likes that, Fuck out of here.
I don't have to hear that song again.
This was bullshit. Another bullshit pay-per-view.
Well, I said yesterday that WarGames is the worst match stipulation they have, and yet we have to see it every year. I don't know why. Like, they complained that the 5-on-5 became a tired concept. I feel now WarGames is a tired concept. And it shows it year after year. It doesn't work. I mean, sometimes it can be all right, as you saw. Like, there's some parts you guys like, some parts I liked. But for the most part, it's long. It looks like crap overall. And in the end, like, what did we get in the end? I think a lot of people got hurt. Like, did you really need all those injuries that happened too? We don't even know about yet. I'm sure people are going to find out about later. Do we really need all that stuff to happen for this kind of match? I don't think it was necessary.
Yeah,
and again,
rough landings.
This is going to go back to the women's match because, like, I don't know how you guys love that match. Nia Jax was beyond atrocious tonight. How can you guys like this match?
Like,
those chair shots.
Oh, man. That was amazing.
They were so bad. They were the lightest chair shots I've ever seen. I don't know what the fuck she was
swinging
doing.
for their head, and then she realized, oh, crap, I'm not supposed to do that, so she just held up.
They were awful.
Did you hear Naomi, like, swearing at her because, like, I guess she was hard at first, and she, like, lightened up?
Yeah, she was maybe too hard, but then the way she lightened up was, like, way too light. It was crazy. The best part of that match, though, was when she took a double back body drop and almost died.
Oh, that was near death. What the heck was that?
It was like, whoa. She had a look on her face. I was like, oh, phew. Oh, man.
Well, I
She
blame
almost
Bayley and
died.
Naomi.
She almost died. It was crazy. Like, just Nia's head barely cleared the mat. Just almost just went clunk. It was so crazy. The fact that they attempted that on Nia and then she was like, yeah, and she just couldn't get herself over. It was fucking incredible. And that wig on her was ridiculous. Holy shit. It was bad. I'm not saying it wasn't bad. I'm saying the rest of the pay-per-view was worse somehow. I mean, this match was my match of the night, and it sucked, okay? I mean, this was a garbage pay-per-view. This was trash. I'm not saying it wasn't bad. I'm saying it was more entertaining to me than, like, this was the only match that didn't put me to sleep. Maybe because it was the first one of the night and it was early, but goddamn, pal. I mean, they did some stuff. Rhea Ripley had a cool mask on.
Yeah, the Beast Mortos was in the match. I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
That's
Beast
nice.
Mortos.
You guys didn't find? I thought it was. I was like, wow, he did the duty. He's on Collision. He's on Survivor Series. Wow.
Beast Mortos.
Right.
Beast
Doing the
Mortos.
circuit.
I didn't know Beast Mortos had that kind of physique, brother. I mean, if he did, he'd be more over in AEW. Let me tell you. Rhea Ripley's way more jacked than Beast Mortos.
And slimmer, too. I was like, wow. Lost a bit of weight.
Tiffany and Io both doing dives off the cage at the same time. Was ridiculous. Io with the garbage can on her head. Tiffany, no garbage can on her head. But they both just like do dives on a pile of people that were waiting there forever. It's just so overly choreographed. It's a big spot, and it's cool for the people in the arena because, like, when you're in the arena and you're seeing people jump up from that like high place,
cool.
It is cool.
We have seen a few of those spots.
Even if, because it's impressive, you know, and it's like, oh, you see the danger, and it's like a cool stunt.
Yeah, it's like, that's kind of high up in the air.
You go, ooh, I don't know if I would do that. I can't do the backflip. Like, that's very cool, you know? You see that, and you're like, damn. But on TV, you're just like, it takes forever to set up.
You see
and then they're all standing there, and like teammates, like some people they're like opponents are like there's Nia and Naomi, and they're like just standing next to each other waiting for Tiffany to jump on them. It's just dumb. It was an overly choreographed fake spot. And I feel just watching this pay-per-view that WWE doesn't even try to make it look halfway real anymore. Like, kayfabe is so dead. It's rolling over in its grave. Like, it's crazy how choreographed and overly fake and cinematic they try to make everything. The finish to the men's match, a bunch of the spots in the women's match. Like, it's just like, in a real fight, it is impossible for all of these things to like converge at the same time. But in a movie fight, sure, these things would happen. But pro wrestling now looks more like a movie fight than a real fight. And it wasn't always that way. I mean, sometimes there were elements of that, but goddamn, WWE is just over the top.
And it's not just a movie fight, it's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie fight too, yeah.
Like, I was like, we were watching that promo yesterday with CM Punk and Paul Heyman. Like, the dun, 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 music's like going over. It was like a bad, like, direct-to-DVD Steven Seagal movie.
Yeah.
That's called, like, Kill Shot.
Yeah.
You know, or, like, Assassin's Clan or something like
I don't like you.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
don't like you either. You killed my father. Give me back my diamonds. You know, it's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I'm a cop.
And
I'm a damn good cop.
And I don't play by the rules.
Yeah, but like in this day, like there's tons of those movies with like Steven Seagal or Bruce Willis was in a bunch of those.
Yeah, and you know what?
Nobody watches them.
The scripts for those movies were still slightly better than that bullshit they tried to feed us on SmackDown, and somehow the acting was better too. You got one of the best promo guys in the history of the business doing that bullshit.
Yeah. I'm only here for Paul.
I'm only here for Paul. I love Paul.
He's my wise man.
He's my wise man. I love him.
I'm not going to disagree with you guys on that, but I did enjoy Punk's entrance when he came out and he pie-faced Bronson Reed when he was in the cage. Oh, yeah. And that clearly didn't look script because then suddenly we went to black because I think some swearing went down. I think they didn't know that was going to happen. So I appreciate that. That felt real, that moment at least.
Yeah, it did.
Also at the end when he just went backstage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. That too, yeah.
Like, I'm done, guys. Yeah, high five.
Yeah, Punk left, and then they sent him back to do a final pose on the stage with the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you saw people like running to the back to go get him. Like you saw it around the corner.
Ridiculous.
He's like, I'm done with this.
I've had enough of
this. Well,
this.
you probably thought the show was off the air. I thought the show was going off the air. Like nothing was happening.
Well, I hope that like the fact that they kept the camera on them as they're walking out, right? For so long. Yeah. It made me think like, okay, there's no way they're just keeping the camera on them for no reason because it's a ridiculous amount of time that they're just watching them leave. and nothing's happening. So I figured at some point somebody was going to stand behind them, and it was going to be like The Rock or something. Somebody was going to attack them. Something was going to happen. But no, nothing happened. Like, it's not just that the show sucked. It's that they almost trolled us with the finish of it by going like, let's watch them. Wait. You remember last year?
Punk came in
we rolled the
very
signature.
last second.
And then, remember? And then, like, they kind of made you think, like, oh, we're going to do something. And then they did jack shit. It's like they were almost teasing us. Dicks. Like, fuck this show, John. This show was garbage. What's your score on 10 for this piece of shit?
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you. I didn't enjoy the show overall. I didn't think it was as bad as you guys thought it was. But yeah, to me, it's going to get a low score. I think a 5.5. That's what it's going to get.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Finish to the women's match was Rhea Ripley hitting a top rope riptide through the table on Liv Morgan for the win. Rhea, Bianca, Bayley, Io, and Naomi beat Raquel, Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Tiffy time, and Candice, say it with me now,
LeRae.
Is there something behind that? Why it had to be said like that exactly?
I don't know. It's just how we say her name. Candice LeRae.
LeRae.
You got to say the LeRae with like a lot of disdain because you can't believe that you
okay.
have to watch her wrestle on TV. Candice LeRae. Why? You know, it's like a question every time.
It's like,
They were putting her over, actually. They were saying, like, oh, she's undefeated in WarGames. Like, you got to watch out for her.
NXT and stuff. Right?
NXT doesn't count.
Yeah, NXT doesn't count.
Who is she wrestling
That's
there?
right, pal.
Who is she wrestling there? Electric Lopez? Next U.S. champ, baby. Electric Lopez.
Pretty sure Io Sky was in it because Io Sky's been in all of them. They said it too as well last night.
Yeah, and every single one, she jumps off the top of the cage with a garbage can on her head.
Who else did she wrestle? Like Mandy Rose or something, you know?
Like just because you did it last year doesn't mean you have to do it again this year, Io. Chill with the garbage can on your head. And why was it painted yellow or purple or whatever?
Well, I think it's so she could easily because there was a bunch of them under the ring, right?
Yeah,
but one had a string that she could wrap around her. Yeah.
It was so that she could easily find it, John? Is that what you said?
I think so.
Makes sense.
Yeah, did that work? She seemed to have a hard time finding that thing.
Well, the problem is because everyone had to get crap. Like, why did that have to happen? Like, at least with the men, that didn't happen. But the women, everyone has to get everything under the ring. By the time Raquel came down, like, she took forever just to try to get anything. Like, it felt like it was like almost a minute of her just looking around. Again, like, I can't understand how you guys like this match. Like, so many problems.
I mean, that's not their fault that the gimmicks weren't where they're supposed to be. Well stocked. It's not their fault.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, if it's not organized well, I kind of blame them as well. Like, they got to know what's going to happen there. There should have maybe been like a shopping cart of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe ahead of time.
I mean, come on, though, John. This had the spot of the night. We had Naomi with the toilet seat, putting it on Nia Jax's head, and then mock pooping on her face. That was classic WWE material there. That will be on highlight reels for years.
Quite a bit of
to come.
Vince-style bathroom humor tonight.
Why did they have a toilet seat in that match? Like, what the fuck was that about?
The Otis promo.
Who said, you know what we should have in this match? We got chairs, we got kendo sticks, we got all this. You know what we need? Toilet seat. Because then I could do a spot where I put it on Nia's head and then I poop on her.
Maybe Bruce Pritchard pitched that at a meeting for no reason.
Hey, Naomi.
Yeah. I think you should.
We think you should mock poop on Nia Jax's head. We think that would be pretty hot. I mean, entertaining.
Yeah, Vince didn't ask me this.
You can't blame Bruce because he's taking a leave of absence, so it's not on Bruce this one.
Thank God. Why is he taking a leave of absence so he can?
And it's Michael Hayes.
So he can
They
mount
both
his
have,
defense.
I actually think Bruce. I think it's because his wife is ill.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's terrible.
I thought it was because he was taking a job in the Trump administration.
Not yet. Not yet. If
I
you
think
want to
Trump
talk
is
about
picking
Linda,
from the best and brightest. He's going directly to the
Bruce Pritchard. He was Brother Love. Okay?
top guy. Top guy.
That's right.
I think, yeah.
Does a great Macho Man impression.
I actually heard that Donald Trump was going to pick Michael Hayes to design a new uniform for the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he likes his style.
Bad Street, Atlanta, GA.
Yeah.
Very bad, terrible crime.
I mean, they are both old orange men that like to dance in public in front of audiences for no apparent reason.
It's true.
You remember the Michael Hayes Hall of Fame?
Oh,
That was fucking embarrassing.
oh my God.
Where he's just like, do, dancing
Hey,
around
everybody.
to Bad Street, and everybody's just looking at him awkwardly like, that's our boss. What the fuck, eh?
Yeah. See you in the office tomorrow.
Imagine that's your boss. This crazy man in a suit with long-ass hair, bald on top.
Always dressed in a zoot suit.
Fully orange, and he's dancing to Bad Street USA, the song that he maybe sang. I don't even know. It's so horrible. What a fucking joke that company is. And you see the results. I mean, we're seeing the results right now. This
but
bullshit.
they still got people to sell out in Vancouver, highest grossing event ever in Canada history, Canadian history.
That's not
Suckers
good.
born every minute.
Because they've played the Sky Dome, so like,
Yeah, I know.
They outgross the Sky Dome shows.
Because they're charging ridiculous amounts for shows. Because just like they said tonight, the last WWE pay-per-view in Vancouver was Rock Bottom in 1998. Because the audience is starved for WWE. They thought they were going to get something real, and this is what they get. This is the new con that the WWE is running. They're not going to their regular markets and pulling this bullshit. They're going to markets that they haven't hit in many, many years, giving them a show, making them feel special, and then presenting them with bullshit. Couldn't even get a Cody Rhodes title match on this stupid show.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
I just feel bad for the extras. I know a bunch of people like from around this area that went to this show to be used as extras, and like I don't think they were seen at all. So that's kind of too bad. There's no like beat down and a bunch of security guys. Like you didn't see that. So imagine traveling all the way across the country and not even getting used at all. That's too bad.
They don't get paid then, you think?
Oh, I'm sure they got paid, or
But,
at least got free catering.
Yeah. But,
The catering's amazing.
It's a lot.
So
It's
I
about
wouldn't
like a
put it down.
5.5 hour flight. About that. It's a long
At
way
least.
to Vancouver. I've done that. Oh, the way back.
Well, a lot of them, I believe, left like last night. They stayed for the hotel and all that, right? So they make it a big weekend thing.
It's the business.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Tough break, kid. Take it from the Nate. All right. Elsewhere on this show, Shinsuke Nakamura beat LA Knight to become the new U.S. champion, hit him with the Kinshasa, and that was a title changer on the show. Nakamura won. He had this big, elaborate entrance. It felt like somebody who was alive during Pearl Harbor decided to do this gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, you know what Shinsuke should do? This real Japanese kind of
mystical,
spooky, mystery of Japan. Like, it's samurai hat and everything. It's just like...
It's a conflation. It's like different things.
It's just... I don't know. It seems wrong. It seems from another era. It's really not what you think of when you think of Japan today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's not.
Like, it's like a Ninja Turtles version of what Japan
it was like Ninja
is.
It was feudal Japan.
It was like Ninja Turtles
Land
3.
of the Rising Sun, the Emperor, and,
the mysteries of the Orient type of thing. And it's just like, what the hell is this, dude? This is not current. This is like this weird, old-timey idea of what a Japanese wrestler is. And I thought we were past that, but apparently we're right back in it with this new Shinsuke gimmick. And they're going hard with it because they made him the new U.S. champion, beating LA Knight, whose momentum has slowed to a crawl. And you wonder if he'll ever get it back at this point. I feel like
it
LA
felt like
Knight...
a squash match.
Yeah, LA Knight is not in a good spot right now. I think that they've kind of soured on him. And this was what happened. And they like Shinsuke for some reason in this gimmick. I don't hate Shinsuke. This match wasn't great. I don't love the gimmick. It feels outdated. I don't like it.
Well, it was a surprise. I mean, it was the only match I didn't get right, so I was like, well, I'm surprised by the outcome. I didn't see that one coming, but the match felt like a drag, and that says a lot because a lot of matches felt like drags on this show. But this match, I was expecting something, and nothing really ever happened. It just kind of ended. So disappointing. And I don't know how you guys feel. I after watching SmackDown last night, I felt like Andrade was clearly head and shoulders above Nakamura in terms of work rate. I thought Nakamura, he almost feels like he's done almost. I thought they kind of saw it too, and they were just giving him one last moment here. But I guess they're going to give him one last run, it looks like.
Thought the Andrade match was superior. I don't know what's going on here.
I'm not sure.
I think Triple H just likes Shinsuke. They have him under contract. They're going to use him. I don't know.
He's a good worker, but this weird gimmick, I don't know who's like, pushing this. Who thinks like, yeah, this is the way to go? It's like, are we gonna bring back like a Papa Shango kind of character? Like,
yeah,
are we bringing back, the Mist is one thing,
Yeah, this gimmick is not. It just feels outdated.
Yeah.
Angelo in the chat says, what happens to LA Knight now? I think that's a good question. I think he keeps going with Shinsuke. Like, it's not over.
Yeah. He'll be in the Rumble.
He might even take the title back from Shinsuke. He'll be in the Rumble. He won't win.
No.
Maybe last year or the year before, I think there was possibly a thought that he could win the Rumble, but now it's like he's so far out of the realm. He's just not near that spot. And again, I don't know if he'll ever get back there. I feel like the LA Knight push has really stopped. And the fans are not reacting to him the way they did. And he hasn't really changed anything. It's just kind of the same. Yeah, it's kind of getting a little stale. Like, I like him, but it's kind of like, all right.
What else you got?
What else is there? And there isn't anything else. And people are starting to go, all right, well, I guess that was that. That was fun.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where we're at with that. It's like, well, that was fun.
It's like a little Mr. Kennedy kind of thing.
Yeah, he'll still be around and all, but like, any thoughts of him ascending higher than where he has, like
main eventing Mania.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Highly unlikely.
I don't think it's impossible for him to be like world heavyweight champion. I just don't see him as WWE champion. He's not going to be the top champion, but I can see him maybe as world heavyweight champion. It's not impossible. They're going to at least try, I think, at some point.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, that's because that title means absolutely nothing.
Oh, God.
Damian Priest and Gunther had just a slow-ass stinker tonight.
That was the worst match of the show.
It was
bad.
That
was the worst match, yeah.
It was horrible.
Achingly.
It was rough.
Is Priest right? Has Gunther lost a step or something? Like, what's going on?
Well, he played that gimmick up, right? The fact that he's doubted himself. So, I mean, he played that to a T, but unfortunately the match quality suffered as well because the match with Priest I thought was very good at SummerSlam. It was one of the best matches we had at SummerSlam this year. Tonight, he had one of the worst matches, so I don't know what happened tonight. It all kind of just went to crap. And, like, did you even need Finn to interfere like that? That even made Gunther look even worse.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Finn interfered the last time, right?
But I don't know. I thought there was a lot more drama. It felt closer with that one. It's like, oh, well, you weren't really expecting Priest to win that one. Mm-hmm. Where this one, it's like, well, this is his comeback now, Gunther. It's like, well, he didn't really come back in the end. It's really, he got help again, so he just barely got by.
Yeah. You still don't have Gunther actually beating Priest clean. He had help from Finn when he beat him for the title, and now he has help from Finn tonight when he retains. He still hasn't beat Priest clean. Why can't that happen? Why can't they let Gunther beat Damian Priest? Who cares about Damian Priest? And why is this Finn Balor stuff still happening? You know what I'm saying about how we've gone nowhere, we haven't advanced, we haven't progressed, nothing's actually happened. We're still doing this Damian Priest versus the Judgment Day bullshit.
Who cares?
John, you just said it. SummerSlam, Damian Priest, Gunther. This is August. We are now in fucking November.
Almost December.
We had the same match for the same belt with the same guys with the same motherfucker interfering. Same fucking finish. What the fuck? We haven't gone anywhere since fucking August. August to November.
Yeah.
Same bullshit. This fucking stale company, because they go to these new markets and they do nothing shows and nothing ever happens and there's no progress. Fuck, it's boring, man. How long can they go on this way? Are they just waiting for the Rumble? Is this what we are in the WWE now? They do shit between January and April, and then the rest of the year is just kind of house shows?
I think so.
House shows that are disguised as TV and pay-per-views? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like they do business between January and April, and then the rest of the year, the other 8 months, is just fucking wasting time. And, if that's going to be the deal, cool. But, you have The Rock maybe this year, maybe next year. Maybe the year after.
Maybe.
But after that, I would say you got a year or two left of having The Rock participate in a match. After that, what do you got?
And then John Cena also 1 or 2 years
That's
tops.
it. And then what's your January in 2026, 2027 looking like when you don't have those guys anymore? You got jack shit. What a garbage fucking company right now. It is really, really ugly. And honestly, John, AEW's not looking much better. I shit on AEW constantly. The wrestling business as a whole is looking just awful. It's so boring. It's so boring. Across the board, both companies are shit in the bed.
I found what really hurt tonight was that we didn't get Cody and KO. I think that was one of the hottest things we had.
Yeah.
And the fact that they pushed it to Saturday night's main event was, I think, a huge letdown for tonight. Because that would have been a great match to have. I think that would have had a lot of interest. And I think you're really anticipating what's going to happen with that. Unlike all the other matches where it's it just feels like we're going in circles. With that one, it's that's okay that it's a rematch. Because there's a lot more invested in terms of the wrestling involved and the outcome. You actually care about that.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't want a positive reaction for Owens in Canada, maybe. They were afraid Cody get booed.
Or maybe a mix or something. Well, also, I think because Saturday night's main event, they're making that into a big deal, right? So
yeah, they have a big match for that.
Yeah, they need a big match for that show. And I guess, that's the one. But even that one, you go, I don't really see Cody dropping the belt.
No.
So who cares?
And that's what it feels like Kevin Owens has kind of become. He's the guy to kind of make you believe there's a title change in late December, January. Is there going to be a change to Mania plans? No, there's no change to Mania plans.
Because he's so good and he's so exciting and he's very good at convincing you, you go, oh, maybe, you know. Kevin makes good points and he's a good wrestler and you go, oh, they could make him
What if he beat Roman that one year?
Why not? He's great. It could happen, and then it just doesn't happen.
It'd be nice to. I'd love it for him to have that storyline of him winning the Rumble and going to Mania. I think that'd be a great babyface momentum. It'd be a great. But I feel like they should have done that already.
I just feel like
give
Cody
him the
has...
quote unquote Chris Benoit route of just you've been a hard worker, always kind of in the background. Let's move you to the front.
Yeah, but I feel like Cody has stuff with The Rock coming up.
Yeah.
Where at this stage, losing a match to Kevin Owens for the title doesn't make sense.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
And
we're just waiting around, twiddling the thumbs, waiting for Dwayne.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, it's just nonsense. It's just filler.
We were wondering last night about how Saturday Night's Main Event's going to air. It's going to air on NBC, but apparently it will also air on the WWE Network as well.
On Peacock.
On that and WWE Network internationally.
Whatever that is.
Well, you have it on. You have the network as a television
Didn't it just
channel,
end
right?
here?
Oh yeah. It's almost
Is that over yet?
network.
Almost.
It's like a month left for the network before Netflix takes over. Jacob Fatu looked like he hurt himself on that moonsault attempt, right? But apparently, according to reports, he is okay. So he's not actually injured.
It looked like a real hurt because like he got hurt and then he went to the corner and it looked like Bronson was kind of protecting him from like anyone kind of like stomping on him or anything.
Yeah, but I
it looked
think
like a real injury.
there's a report from Fightful. They're saying that he's okay.
Well, he did like get involved in spots afterwards, so
Yeah.
he wasn't really selling
He
it
did
that
take
much.
that
So
whistle
yeah,
splash after I think.
Yeah, looked rough though. It was weird. It was a weird moment.
I get these kind of matches. It's not really worth the injuries that potentially can happen and may have actually happened. Like we don't know like the full extent of everyone yet.
Jacob Fatu shined in that match though. He looked really good. That was a bright spot.
I think
Yeah.
from the new bloodline, he looked like the best one.
Mm-hmm. Better than Solo.
Yeah, Solo was non-existent.
Well, Solo was also near the end. He had his little spots for story and all that. Like it wasn't more about him like shining. It was more just him being involved with Roman and stuff with Punk. That was about it.
Kyle Salisbury says, "This was always my least favorite pay-per-view before the age of when they just made up horrible pay-per-views. Now in PLE era, this still stinks to me." Yeah. It stinks.
Couldn't wait to end the year for them too. Like it's their last PLE. I don't know if you count Saturday Night's Main Event as a PLE. Maybe they will, but this is
Just an hour,
it's a rough way to end. It's too bad.
Yeah, it's a very bad ending to what has not been a great year for WWE. I mean, it started off well, but I'd say overall it's been a bad year. Creatively, match-wise, it has not been great. Like, since WrestleMania,
Yeah.
no good.
Well, I think Punk and Drew McIntyre's feud of the year. I don't think there's any question about that.
Over a
And that lasted a
bracelet.
good chunk.
Yeah, the bracelet.
Okay, the bracelet stuff wasn't great, but in terms of like overall though, I thought it was very well done.
Yes.
They had one good match.
I mean, it helps when you end on top. It helps a lot.
John, they had several matches, and only one of them was good.
I mean, what are we counting here? Like we're
The
counting
Hell in a Cell.
the referee one and the strap match was, it wasn't great.
It
I wouldn't
wasn't.
say it was the worst in the world.
No, but it wasn't very
Right.
good. And then the special referee one was even worse. They only
that's 'cause-
figured it out on the third match. You're going to say it's feud of the year. I mean, I don't know. It was. Maybe it was, but that's what I'm saying. It was a bad year for WWE.
Yeah, WWE feud of the year. Oof.
I'd say it's Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
There was so much
Oof.
there. There was so much
Rhea
there.
kept getting hurt.
Well,
You
you
know?
talk about match quality now.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I think it's the Karrion Cross group versus the other guys. That's my feud.
The other guys.
Yeah, that match at
Remember the
Mania
Wyatt
was
Six?
pretty good. No,
Oh,
no.
no.
There's another group. Yeah, the feud of Mania, WrestleMania, like a hardcore match. It's kind of a big car crash.
Oh, it was against like the Street Profits, right?
Was it Karrion Cross and like the AOP versus like Street Profits?
Was Bobby Lashley with them back then?
Maybe his last
I
year
want-
in Street Profits. Yeah, that's my
Maybe
feud.
Lashley's last thing, yeah.
The short-lived Bobby Lashley Street Profits.
Oh, God.
That's my feud of the year. It was good stuff.
Good job, WWE. You suck.
Well, I guess
mean,
The
yeah,
Rock. Go.
Huh?
When you think of great feuds, I mean, what else? I mean, you could say Roman and Cody. I mean, you could say possibly The Rock, I guess.
Yeah.
Roman and Cody.
Yeah,
Yeah, The Rock and Mama Rhodes, I think.
yeah, the final boss stuff.
The final boss versus,
yeah,
the Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, and so on. I
Yeah.
think that was the best. Rock and Roman versus Cody. That was feud of the year in WWE for sure. Got the most interest.
because everything else for Cody was
But it was
just
at the
bloodline
beginning of the
stuff.
year, and it only lasted for so long, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the
Yeah.
issue with it, is it only lasted about 3 months, and then it ended, and then that was it. And then we didn't see Rock or Roman for several months. We haven't really seen The Rock again since that one appearance at Bad Blood, where he just kind of stood there and looked at guys and then went away. And you're like, okay, When are you going to come back and kind of, fill us in on what the hell that was? Thought it might have been tonight because they had jack shit else on the card, but no, we didn't even get The Rock. We got nothing.
Well, I'm hoping we're going to get Punk and Gunther, I think, at the Rumble. I think that'd be the match to go with at the Rumble for the world title.
Make Gunther entertaining again. Somebody make a hat.
I'm not wearing no red baseball caps.
Make MGGA. It's a MIGA. It sounds like a slur. I'm not going to say that again.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna go. I think it's a good time to call it quits. That's good. That's fine. That's nice. Thanks to Harold Schneider. You're the super chat leader of the night. Thank you as well to Jason Pete dropping a super chat. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Harold. Thank you to all the members of the team over at join.ringsidereport.net. Antoinette, Harold, Angelo, Jason, Kyle. A lot of members checking in here tonight. We did it. We watched Survivor Series.
We survived.
We survived.
We don't have to watch. We survived Survivor Series. War Games. God damn, pal.
Yeah, they gotta change that.
Okay, I'll be back on Thursday night when we'll preview UFC 310, which looks pretty great. Looks like a really good pay-per-view next weekend. Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Ian Machado Gary. At least the TKO group is doing something right. The UFC pay-per-views this year crushing the WWE pay-per-views. Just as far as entertainment value, just UFC in general crushing pro wrestling.
I think like Dana calls up Triple H. It's like, hey man.
Hey, you fucking goof.
Yeah, you suck.
Your show sucked. And
Yeah.
Triple H is like, we sold so many tickets. We're rich. And Dana's like, yeah, us too. And he's like, cool. I'll see you at Mar-a-Lago. Oh. And Dana's like, yeah, okay, see you, buddy.
Yeah.
And then they go and then they hang out at Mar-a-Lago together with
But Trips doesn't get to sit with Trump.
Trips
He's at a
doesn't-
different table.
Yeah, Dana gets to sit with Trump.
Yeah.
Triple H.
H with like Don Jr.
Yeah.
Maybe Elon possibly like, hey, Triple H.
He's
hey,
at the
you're
kids'
the kid.
table.
You're the kid.
How do I get at the big boy table?
Yeah, like Vince is there like, shut up, Paul.
Shut up, Paul.
You can get away with this because Fred and AJ are on the show. I'm sure they
know,
would
it's
fire
great.
back.
It's great.
It's great, yeah.
It's so much easier to talk shit when they're not here to be like, "Oh, Dave, don't say that about our guy." Oh,
They play all like
shut the AJ.
moral police.
Yeah. Oh, what about they do a lot of what about? What about well, what about come on? What about Hillary? What about it's like shut up. Man.
Get AJ, man.
I don't want to hear that bullshit anymore. Cool.
I'm sure you'll hear it on Thursday.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
before
I know
that-
I will. But I know AJ's not watching right now, and he won't watch this, and Fred isn't watching this, so they won't fuck with me on this. They didn't hear any of this, those guys. But it's true. Like, I can't really talk shit when they're around because they're like, "Oh, Dave, don't say that. Blah, blah, blah,
Be
blah.
nice.
What about you, these guys? Kid Rock is great, and Tucker Carlson only speaks the truth." It's like, shut the fuck up, bro.
CIA.
Does Kid Rock still make music?
What?
Does Kid Rock still make music? I feel like it's been a while. Really?
I can't imagine. I mean, maybe. I don't know what he does anymore.
I think he made like an album a couple years ago, kind of like, don't tell me what to say kind of music.
How does he still have money?
I mean, he was always a rich guy.
He had
He was
money
born,
already.
he wasn't born in a trailer park and
he
all
was
that. That was
born
all
wealthy.
image.
Yeah.
Robert Ritchie, like his parents own like a lot of land in like Michigan
Right.
and stuff. Like,
It's not from music.
no, he was always like comfy.
What a douchebag.
Yeah, it was all Rebel Without a all that stuff. It's like Devil Without a Gun. It's all image. He's a bit of an industry plant.
He is.
He's like, hey, you guys like angry white boys? Well, Let me dress like a
very
pimp.
fake, very
and,
fake.
you know, bring Joe C along.
Yeah. Well, he
He didn't just kind of pop up out of nowhere.
He was one of those first guys to like kind of co-op hip hop culture and kind of rap and do all that stuff, and then totally flip and be like, "I'm a country music man."
He
and
did
you're
that
like,
song with Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, and you're like,
remember that one?
Yeah, and you're like, whoa, what about all that? Like, yeah, boy, Kid Rock, and I'm a
No.
It's like, no, that's gone now, and I'm a redneck. And you're like, well, what about the hip hop stuff? What about all that? And no, I don't do that anymore. And then as soon as I saw that Post Malone, I was like, he's the same thing. He's the same thing as Kid Rock. Watch what he does.
And he did.
And then he did the same thing, and I was like, fucking told you.
Yeah.
Told you. I can spot him.
I can smell a pig from
You know
a mile away.
You know why I can spot him? Because
wrestling.
No, because real recognize real. And I'm really about that shit.
Yeah.
And those guys are faking the funk. And I could see like, oh, those guys aren't really about it.
No.
You could fucking tell. They're not really about it. Like Master P. They're bullshit.
Oh, Master P. Little Kenny died today.
The best was Kid Rock and Uncle Cracker. I know Dave remembers that.
Uncle Cracker.
Uncle Cracker.
I can't remember what.
You remember the X Factor song? You don't remember that?
Oh, that's right. He did sing the X Factor. I know everything I wanted.
I like that Joe C, the guy that like a man-child thing that Kid Rock had with him.
I remember they showed up on Raw, like when it was like pretty hot.
Yeah.
Like Kid Rock was like pretty bad. It was like Joe C got involved in a match.
Possibly.
I think he like tripped up Chris Jericho.
He was.
I think he hit Chris Jericho with something.
Yeah.
He helped Briscoe win the Hardcore title on SmackDown.
Gerald Briscoe.
Yeah. He's like Briscoe was trying.
He's a corporate stooge. Kid Rock. He's a corporate stooge.
Fucking Kid Rock. Always been a stooge.
Stooge. Pat Patterson, the Dirty Undies. They never talk about that.
That was a rough.
They don't say, "Hey, remember Pat Patterson? His Dirty Undies."
That was the worst match ever. The King of the Ring match with Briscoe. That was bad.
Oh, it wasn't in a dress, and it was like, were they both in
They
nightgowns?
both were in a dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rough times in life.
Sounds hot. Great stuff. It's another Vince McMahon fantasy playing out on live TV. Let's get Jerry Briscoe in a dress, pal. Oh my God! After this, we're going to Diddy's mansion.
That's right.
Bring the boys.
Bring the ring boys.
Holy shit!
That's pretty rough right there. Yikes. Yeah.
I mean,
that's a big thing about Linda right now too, right?
She was named in a lawsuit about the ring boys.
Linda was named in a ring boy
lawsuit. There was like a new lawsuit.
Get her!
And she was named as one of them.
Oh, I'm separated from Vince. I have no idea about any of the bullshit I've fucking turned a blind eye to and helped him do by being the fucking wife. She, as the wife, she provides cover. She's provided cover for this motherfucker for 30, 40 years. And she's known and been complicit. Don't play innocent, Linda. You fucking knew. Get the fuck out of here.
Secretary of Education, Linda.
Oh, my. Secretary of Education. What are you going to be teaching people to do?
Now, when she comes to you, you tell her.
You got two
don't
words
sell
for
it.
her.
Don't sell it.
You got two words. Yeah.
Don't sell it.
Suck it. Fucking ridiculous, man.
Isn't there something about like she had like a diploma in education, but she actually doesn't have a diploma in education?
Yeah, apparently like it wasn't true or something. Like
wasn't true.
Like Meltzer was the one who broke it or something. Like Meltzer doing the
dirty that's gonna make people happy. It gets better and better.
Oh, this is a crazy fucked up world, isn't it? But you got to do it.
It doesn't seem real.
No.
None of it seems real. It all seems like fake. It's like we're living in The Simpsons. You ever feel like you ever feel like
it does feel like Mr. Burns is like a
do you ever feel like you're Lisa and and it's The Simpsons and you're like, what the fuck? You know? That's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh man, this is what Lisa Simpson must have felt like all the time.
Yeah, every time like, the big mob came and was like, yo, shut up, girl.
Yeah, that's it. You look at the world and you're like, no, this is... And then everybody's like, shut up. No one wants to hear it. And you're like, all right.
There's a detail I noticed. Like, every time there's a big mob, like the town forms a mob, Mo is usually the leader of the mob.
Exactly.
Like Mo just like burn it.
Yeah.
Like, well,
And what does
Gotta try
Mo
to
want to
string.
do? He just wants to keep you drunk.
yeah. And he's the lead.
And he's the leader, and he's feeding you all the bullshit. But he just wants to keep
Money
you.
gets you one more round. You
Yeah.
drink it down, you stupid clown.
Exactly.
Money gets you one more round, and you're out on your ass. Ah, my back.
Exactly.
Classic.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel real. It feels
Yeah, it does feel Simpson.
fake and stupid, and
But not as funny.
no, it's unpleasant.
Machi.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, wrestling.
Yeah.
I'll be back Thursday night, 8 p.m. to preview UFC 310, and then we got another big weekend here. We'll do the UFC 310 watch along next Saturday, and then Johnny and I will be back on.
Angela wants to start the show.
Angela wants the show to end. I mean, you could just stop watching.
Yeah.
It's really up to you.
You know.
Like, we can end the show, guys. Well, I mean,
Thank you, producer Angela.
Angela's like, all right, we don't really take direction like that. It's not how it works.
Team AJ trying to fire back on you.
I guess. I don't know what that was exactly. But I do want to end it because it's over. I'll be back Thursday. Johnny and I will be back Friday for more wrestling talk. We'll see what happens with the New Day on Monday. I mean, I'm interested in that, you know.
Fingers crossed.
At least they got that going for them. Yeah.
That's the most compelling thing.
Yeah, for sure. So,
But like, it's gonna end. So like,
is it though? I don't know. It depends what they do.
is Biggie gonna come back to in-ring action?
And also get ready. December 18th, they've announced it. It's going to be Ospreay, Darby Allin on Dynamite.
Cool.
All right, should be.
That'll be good.
You know,
What do you put over there?
Oh, that's tough. I don't know.
I think the Death Riders will interfere.
No, you
Maybe-
can't. There's no interference in the Continental Classic.
Time limit draw?
Well, we just had a time limit draw with Okada and Garcia.
What? That went to a draw?
Yep. That went to a draw.
Okada?
Yeah, Okada, yeah. Just got by. He's getting his teeth.
They are not using that guy well.
Why would you pay him all this money to have him have a draw with Daniel Garcia? It's so
no sense.
It's so crazy. They take stars, mega stars. They sign them to big contracts, and then they book them like regulars, just like regular
Like, who
old
are you again?
nobodies, and then their stars become nothing. It is the worst, most backwards booking in all of professional wrestling, and we just watched Survivor Series. Like, it's, I mean, at least Survivor Series had some shit that made sense. It's boring and predictable, but
Right.
it goes in a direction where you go, okay, I see what they're doing here.
Yeah.
AEW, you're like, what the fuck are they doing? WWE, it's like obvious and boring. AEW is like baffling and like annoying. You're like, why do they do this? What?
It makes no sense.
You take some of your
Well-
favorite wrestling talent and you book them like a fucking idiot. Ah!
I think they did this because Garcia just won the TNT title, right? It's his first match since winning it, right? So they didn't want him to lose his next match after winning the title, even though
They
it was
shouldn't
the
have done the
title's
Okada
longest
match now. Then they have plenty of time
Yeah,
in the tournament.
They didn't have to have them wrestle each
It
other.
shouldn't have been now. Should have been in 3-4 weeks after a few wins in the tournament for Garcia. Because Okada should always beat Daniel Garcia. It's ridiculous. Is Okada ever going to be AEW World Champion? What did they sign him for?
Don't know.
Why did he leave Japan? Why? I fucking...
Why?
Oh, fuck. AEW, man. What are you doing? Why'd you even tell me that, John? That really pissed me off.
Right about no.
Well,
Angela wants us to end the show, and look what you're doing.
It's like
yeah, no.
extra 15 minutes.
Well, like he wants us to end it. We'll just keep it going here.
Yeah, we're
But,
gonna never. This show will never.
Tony
end.
Khan.
We're gonna go on another 3 hours.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Tony Khan, you motherfucker.
But Jay White has officially challenged John Moxley for the AEW World Championship. So that's probably going to be the match at the pay-per-view. Maybe they'll add Hangman in there too because he was there as well. But Jay White, I think, is getting the next shot for sure.
Where did this happen? Collision?
Yes, having Collision, yes.
Jay White versus John Moxley.
That should mean something. Like Jay White,
doesn't mean
he's another
anything.
one of those guys that just became a guy.
He just became a regular guy. They haven't made him into anything.
That's just Jay
He was
White.
a star when he came in, and now they made him just look like a total jabroni with the gun club and all these losers he hangs around with.
Yeah, with the ass boys.
Pathetic.
Oh yeah, and apparently Juice got injured in the match with Ospreay. Yeah. I don't know what happened exactly. Like he seemed fine, but
He gets hurt a lot.
so apparently he's hurt.
He's injury prone.
Yeah, he broke his back like a year ago.
Yeah. Well, I guess
So-
hang out with his wife. It's all good.
Not bad.
Not bad.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
All right. That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Survivor Series post show. I'll be back again Thursday night right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next